this is Jody. Thanks for joining me. Today is my third video in my four-part series on the new stamp Love is Kindness out of the Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog. I've shown you a few already. I'll just quickly bring those in so that you can see them again. If you want to see all of the details and instructions, make sure you watch the video. This one, the image is stamped on vellum and colored in with markers. This one, I stamped just the flower part around the edges and colored this with blender pens and the ink pads, which are raspberry and old olive. This is another one I haven't shown yet, but just wanted to pull in. Same idea as far as just stamping the top of the flower, did a little border on the bottom of this note card. And this I colored in with markers, Pink Pirouette, Blushing Bride, and Crisp Cantaloupe. So real fun spring combination of colors. Now for this video, the third one, I want to show you how to make this card. I'm hoping that the light is picking up the sparkle from the glitter on here. I love the variety, again, with these colors and the different looks that you can get with this one single stamp. This one is a little more vintage and I love that feel. So what I did is I already went ahead, stamped the image with StazOn. I colored in using a blender pen and Blushing Bride ink on the petals and then Pear Pizzazz ink on the stems. So what I want to do is show you how to transform this piece into this more vintage looking piece over here. So let's go ahead and get started with that. What I want to do, after I colored all this in with the blender pen, I'm going to take the Soft Sky ink pad, get some ink on the lid there, and I'm going to do the same thing where I pick up ink with the blender pen, and I'm going to just run along the edges. I don't even know if you noticed it here the first time. Once I do it, you'll definitely see a difference. So I don't want to go in here where it's really dark. I just want a little bit, and I'm just going to go right along the edge of the image. It doesn't have to be really precise. I'm just adding a little bit of color, almost like a little frame border around the whole image. So I just continue to do that. And it just adds a little bit of a shadow, but I feel like with the blue, with the soft sky color, it brightens it up a little bit too. Okay, I'll just do around to the top so you can maybe compare and see if you can actually notice the difference between the two sides. Okay, so when I hold it up closer, let me refocus here. When I hold it up closer, do you notice the difference? That little blue border around here, and then it stops over here. So just continuing that all the way around. Hopefully you can see it there too. Just softens it a little bit. Then the other thing I did with this is I took my crumb cake ink pad and sponge dauber and just went around the edges. Again, just to soften it, give it a little bit of a vintage feel. You'll notice here on the embossed layer on the Soft Sky cardstock, I did the same thing with the sponge dauber. I just went like that. And so it put ink on that raised surface. So just soften that a little bit as well. So just quickly go around the edges here. The other thing that I did with the sponge dauber and crumb cake is this little doily piece that you see here. And that is super easy to do as well. You'll just set the sponge dauber right over the doily and add as much ink as you want. It's a little bit delicate, so you want to make sure you do it gently so you don't tear it, but super easy to add a little bit of color there. It just kind of makes it blend in a little bit more rather than that stark white against there. So it just adds a little bit of texture. Now the last thing I want to show you is how to do the glitter. I'm going to use our Dazzling Diamonds glitter and our two-way glue pen. So what I'm going to do is take the glue pen and put the glue wherever I want the glitter to be. So I'm just going to do like one petal of each flower. And I'm not, you can tell, being real precise where the glue is going, but just getting it in that general area. And then I'll hold it over my tray, open up my glitter here, and just sprinkle right over it. And you, of course, can put as much glitter on as you want to. The more glue you put on, the more glitter there will be. You could cover every petal of every flower if you wanted to. You'll notice I'm just kind of tapping off the extra, and then hopefully you can see that fun sparkle. The last thing I did was add some thick baker's twine here, and then this whole layer is popped up on Stampin' Dimensionals. I love this quick and creative card and the vintage look, the variety of cards that you can get with this awesome stamp, Love is Kindness. Thanks so much for watching. For daily creative inspiration or to place an order, visit my blog. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram.